Theodore, a man who chose to turn his back on society, to retreat from the noise and chaos that so often accompany human existence. He sought refuge in a secluded cabin, nestled in a remote valley, far removed from the clamor of civilization. Here, in his fortress of solitude, Theodore found peace. The stillness of the valley, the whispering of the wind through the trees, the distant call of a solitary bird, these became his companions. For a time, Theodore was content. He believed himself to be the last person on Earth, the final sentinel in a world reclaimed by nature. But then, something peculiar happened. A letter, a simple piece of parchment neatly folded and sealed with a drop of crimson wax, appeared on his doorstep. He was alone, so who could have delivered it? Intrigued and slightly unnerved, Theodore broke the seal and unfolded the letter. The words, written in an elegant swirling script, detailed his every action, his routine, down to the minutiae of his secluded life. It was as if the writer had been observing him, recording his daily rituals with an uncanny precision. The more he read, the more his bewilderment grew. How could this be? He wondered. And the most perplexing question of all, who could have written this letter? Bewilderment gripped him as he read sentences that mirrored his daily rituals. His every mundane act, from the way he brewed his morning coffee to the exact moment he'd retire to his bed, was detailed with an alarming precision. The letter's author was unknown, their origin a mystery, yet they held a deep understanding of Theodore, his routine, his solitude, and his secluded existence. The intimate details of his life were laid bare on the parchment, penned in an elegant script that was as captivating as it was disconcerting. Each letter implored him to act, to step out of his solitude and prevent a calamity that was yet to unfold. They spoke of impending disaster, a cataclysm that loomed ominously on the horizon. The words painted a picture of a catastrophic event, a reality that Theodore found hard to fathom. Initially, he dismissed these letters as hoaxes, the product of a twisted mind aiming to disrupt his tranquil solitude. They were elaborate tales spun to shatter his peace, or so he thought. But as the letters kept coming, their predictions growing ever more precise, Theodore found himself teetering on the edge of doubt. Letters continued to arrive, each containing predictions of his future actions. They were neatly folded, sealed with the same crimson wax, and each held an uncanny familiarity. Theodore, the solitary man that he was, found himself at the center of this perplexing mystery. The letters began to predict not just his actions, but events that were yet to occur. They spoke of changes in the weather, the arrival of rare birds, and the blooming of flowers that were out of season. Each prediction came true, shaking Theodore's skepticism to its core. The correspondence took on a sinister tone as it began predicting not just the benign, but the horrifying. The author wrote of an impending disaster, detailing Theodore's role in preventing it. The letters, once dismissed as mere nuisances, now held a weight that Theodore could not ignore. The eerie accuracy left him haunted by the possibility that he wasn't truly alone. The solitude he had embraced now seemed to hold secrets that were being revealed to him one letter at a time. Could it be that he was not the last person on Earth, as he had believed? Or was there something else at play? The mystery of the letters deepened, leaving Theodore grappling with the unknown. Haunted by a sense of foreboding, Theodore wrestled with the decision to heed the letters' warnings, or dismiss them as figments of a disturbed imagination. Each new letter brought with it a sense of impending doom, a ticking clock that seemed to echo through the silence of his secluded sanctuary. Theodore found himself at a crossroads. Each path, equally shrouded in uncertainty, beckoned him. One led him to continue his life of solitude, dismissing the letters as the workings of a deranged mind playing a cruel joke on his reclusive existence. The other path, however, was one of action. It whispered of responsibility and change, urging him to step out of his seclusion and face the unknown. As the letters continued to arrive, their urgency undiminished, Theodore felt a creeping sense of responsibility. His skepticism began to waver, chipped away by the eerie accuracy of the letters' predictions. The words now echoed in his mind with a chilling resonance. The decision weighed heavily on Theodore. His tranquil existence had been shattered, replaced with a burden he had never sought. Yet a part of him, a silent observer, seemed to resonate with the letters' call to action. It was as if a dormant part of him had been awakened, a part that yearned to step beyond the boundaries of his self-imposed isolation. The letters, as persistent as ever, guided him toward an event that remained nebulous in its details. Guided by the letters, Theodore ventured further beyond the confines of his secluded valley, into the heart of an unknown world. Each step he took was a step into the unknown, laden with the weight of uncertainty. The world that he once believed to be empty now revealed itself in all its terrifying glory. The letters, persistent as ever, continued to guide him. Their cryptic messages became his compass, directing him towards an event that remained shrouded in mystery. They spoke of an impending disaster, a convergence of cosmic forces that threatened the very fabric of reality. As he delved deeper into the mystery, the signs grew more evident. The sky turned a shade darker, the wind howled with an eerie intensity, and the earth beneath him trembled with an unsettling rhythm. The world, it seemed, was on the brink of a cataclysmic event. The final letter arrived, its words revealing the horrifying truth. A convergence of cosmic forces was imminent, a celestial collision that threatened to unravel reality itself. The letters, once a source of bewilderment, now held the key to preventing the impending disaster. Armed with this cryptic knowledge, Theodore found himself at the epicenter of a cosmic reckoning. He was the recluse turned guardian, the solitary man entrusted with the fate of the world. The weight of the responsibility bore down on him, but he pressed on, fueled by a determination he never knew he possessed. Exhausted and bewildered, Theodore stood amidst the aftermath of his enigmatic quest. The cryptic messages no longer whispered into his ears, their urgency no longer pulsated in his veins. As Theodore returned to his secluded valley, the world beyond seemed unchanged. The silence returned, the stillness resumed, and the recluse found solace once again in the heart of solitude. His journey, as enigmatic as it was, had come to an end, but the letters and the mysteries they held would forever linger in the corners of his memory.